Alright, it is time for another day of mashing mods together that should not work. So, once again, we are pairing the Limitless Mod, which is a mod that makes 5 out of 5 skills into 100-point skills and also gives you 10 skill points per level, with the Recoded Mod. This is an overhaul mod that changes a lot of things, makes the game generally more chill, and also revamps some of the character skill trees. Maya here has kind of some normal stuff. She has a lot of team-centric, phase-lock-centric stuff over here. She has gun stuff in the middle tree alongside some other nice quality of life status effect and reflect stuff. And then she has a tree that has some melee and also a really strong Blight Phoenix that does slag and shock, so that's pretty cool as well. And so yeah, there's just like a lot of nice stuff on this character. We are going to be taking her here at level 50, which is a boosted character in Recoded. They start at level 50. They have UVHM unlocked if you don't want to do multiple playthroughs. This is a really nice way to handle it. And we're going to take her through TVHM, and we are going to try to fight Terra. So let me look at the skill tree, see what we can do, see how ridiculous we can make the character level 50 against a Terra, and then we'll load up an OP10 save. We will go ahead and test out the character with 800 skill points, and we'll just see what we can do at OP10 against raid bosses. Okay, so first off, swiftness. While an enemy is phase locked, you and your friends gain increased movement speed. I'm just going to put 10 points in this so that we get 100% more movement speed, because that's already way too much. We're going to go ahead and put like 10, let's make it 15 points into concentration. Now phase lock lasts for like 80 seconds, probably more like 85 probably. We can also spec subsequence, so now we have a 100% chance for phase lock to fly over to other enemies. It also increases kill skill duration in this mod, so that's super nice. And then we can go ahead and put some points into Life Tap, which also provides Life Tap for teammates in this mod, which I think is super cool. We can also get Guaranteed Kinetic Reflection. It doesn't make us... No, it makes us take reduced damage. I don't know by how much because it doesn't really say. But we'll just put like 20 points in this so that we're basically guaranteed to reflect stuff. We're fighting Terra, so it's probably not actually worthwhile to do that, but it's fine. We have plenty of skill points. We have a class mod that buffs Wrath, Critical Thinking, and Kinetic Momentum, which the Limitless mod multiplies by basically 10. So that is an insane amount of damage while an enemy is phase locked, which won't be too useful in Terra's arena. But Kinetic Momentum will, because this passively gives gun damage, projectile speed, and fire rate with no criteria otherwise. Critical Thinking provides a bunch of critical hit damage and status effect damage, so that'll be really good. We have Reload and Swap here. We have more mag size here, which honestly, maybe just like a couple points in just to get mag size up could be pretty funny. And then, I don't even know. We have a lot of skill points. We can go ahead and reduce enemy elemental resistance if we pop them with the shock damage for a little bit. I don't know if this skill will work the way that I think it will, but if it does, this should increase the amount of damage we deal by a ton based on the amount of iridium we have. We don't start with much, so it's not going to be too good. And then I might honestly get some melee stuff, because the melee tree over here is kind of insane. We have a skill that gives us extra movement speed and melee damage while the shield is not empty, which is weird because it's counter avoid shields, but it actually kind of works on this character. We have movement speed and stuff on a kill skill. We have some other stuff. Let's just stack a little more melee damage to get to our real melee damage, which is Anathema. This reduces our max health, but increases melee damage by 75% per level, and provides melee lifesteal. So, you know, that's going to be insane. Let's put a couple points in Blight Phoenix and Ruin, because why not? But let's just cap out Anathema. 7,500% melee. We get minus 1,000% max health, which is actually still an okay amount of health, so we can still abuse health gate, so that's cool. And then, like, you know what? Let's just keep making the character melee stuff, I guess. Might as well. We have 256 more skill points left over. So, there we go. Kill skill with 1,000% there. buff Revenant to get an extra 1000% there and also a lot of cooldown. And then I kind of just want to buff Blight Phoenix because Blight Phoenix is really, really strong in this mod. And yeah, I'll probably just go punch the boss. It'll probably turn out just fine. So let's head over there and just see how we get along. Well, we know Phase Lock works. Oh, we know Blight Phoenix works. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, so does this just work? Okay, so the melee damage is not too great. Our lifesteal's really, really good though, so that's cool. Kind of just gonna wait until we get tentacles for kill skills and then see how that goes. I can see Blight Phoenix working. I can actually see Blight Phoenix working really, really well. That's kind of cool. Also, yeah, I think at level 80, we'll go ahead and buff our kill skill duration, even though it's already insanely long in this mod. Just to make it more insane, because, like, why not? We'll have the skill points for it. Might as well just max out Blight Phoenix and see what we can get up to just by being an Oradin. Okay. Yeah, that checks out. Well, let's load up that level 80 character then. Okay, so here on our OP10 character, I have most of our class mods. We still need to go grab one more, but let's go ahead and see what these buff before we start committing to any skill tree investment. So some shield stuff, more shield stuff, damage and damage. Okay, that's kind of alright, but let's have a look at the alpha. This is phase lock centric stuff. Okay, probably won't use that too much. The vault bound. Movement speed, health regen, some damage, some shock damage stuff. Arch Sarah, this is where a lot of our damage skills are, so maybe using this for a gun build would be really good, so we'll hold on to that. And then the Wraith is our melee class mod, so we'll probably hold on to this one as well. I need to get one more class mod though. Okay, the Melee Angel class mod. This might be our true melee class mod. So it provides melee damage, max health, and health regen for your entire team, which is super cool. Provides extra health regen during phase lock, extra shield capacity and recharge rate, extra max health and shield, plus 2 melee damage and cooldown, movement speed, health regen, and melee damage. Plus 2 kill skill that gives movement speed, reload speed, swap speed, and melee damage. And then plus 2 anathema. So, like, you know, this ought to be pretty darn good. Even with just, well, hold on, let's max it out. Let's just find out what it can do. Let me just close and reopen so that it fixes itself. Yeah, that seems pretty good. 11,400% melee damage. We can also pair that with the shaped glass in this mod for 474% more. And then equip the fillet for 500% melee damage, or we can shoot one of the weapons that deals melee in this mod. This one just shoots normal invisible projectiles that deal melee on contact. Or we can use the kneecapper, which actually spawns in saw blades that deal melee as well. So we have a couple options. This is probably going to be pretty dumb. Let's go punch a worm with this. I'll respec a little bit more, like put more stuff in. But like, yeah, we're just going to go punch a worm and he's going to probably just die because that's just how that's going to work. 150 more seconds on my phase lock seems pretty good. Let's ramp that kill skill duration way up, just so that we have it for basically ever. A little bit of life tap never hurt anybody. A little bit of deflected bullet damage doesn't hurt either. And then I think I have maxed out Iridium, so that bottom skill might go pretty crazy. We'll have to see. Okay, I just finished out our build to make sure we have everything that we want. Lots of fire rate and gun damage during phase lock. Passive gun damage, projectile speed, and fire rate without phase lock, which honestly might make using Kneecapper kind of difficult because of spacing, so we'll just do the melee ourselves. We'll throw our own hands, that's completely fine. We have a bunch of crit and status effect damage here, which should work with Blight Phoenix pretty well. We have Infusion, which gives all of our bullet damage dealt a chance to apply Slag, and also increases shock status effect chance and slag status effect chance as well. Words are hard, I guess, apparently. Elemental damage from this skill and elemental effect damage, so that'll be good. The shock skill, 100% reflect chance for enemy kill skill, so basically just chain reaction on a kill skill. And then I put 10 points into Iridian Herald because I don't know if it'll work properly. But if it does, this is theoretically times 500 of what we see here, because it's based on the amount of iridium we have. Maybe times 50. I don't know if it divides by 10. But either way, that's a lot. So that should be pretty good. We probably won't have to change the skill tree at all, because let's be honest, if I put on our gun comm, yeah, that buffs most of it. And honestly, we don't even need to do that, because we have way too many skill points and stuff. I could just not run a class mod and it would be fine, but running a class mod makes it funnier. So yeah, let's go punch that worm guy again. Hello, sir. Don't mind me. Oh wow, that's actually really not that strong at all. What about the melee gun? Well, that's definitely a noise. Huh. Let's stand next to him for Blight Phoenix. Okay. So, yeah, that's not too much of a surprise. I mean, I was kind of expecting basic melees to work better. But I guess if you just have an insane amount of fire rate, then, like, yeah, you don't need to melee enemies when you could just shoot the melees at them instead. And then, like, Kneecapper's probably still viable. I would just have to shoot it at the floor where the boss is going to spawn, instead of, like, you know, shooting it after the fact like I normally would. Like, if I just did that, and then hold, well, I guess anything with melee damage attachments. Like, yeah, that's just gonna tick him out real good. So that makes sense. Let me put the fillet back on, just to have full confirmation. He ate my shots. There we go. Yeah, that checks out. Melee damage is really strong. Who would have guessed? Yeah. Alright, let's go be an aura monster somewhere else. Hello, Hatterax. Huh. That's a big boy to do that to. He has a very big health bar. Huh. Hold on, can I spawn him again? Will the game get upset? Here, let me just respawn him normally. Huh, he doesn't care as much. Starting to think I had kill skills active, probably. Oh, that recoil is insane. Okay. There we go. Okay, yeah, let's go test Blade Phoenix against somebody. We'll skip up a couple of the normal boys for now, and we'll just go straight to Hyperius. I think he's like one of the only ones I could do this to. Alright, so shoot boy outside of arena. Oh, right, I can phase lock you. That's cursed. Also, yeah, that aura damage is not as strong at OP10 as I thought it would be. It's really, really strong for progression in this mod. Like, insanely strong. But I guess at OP10, it's just kind of there. Okay. Well, there we go. Really wish I could get a chain reaction kill going on dragons. I might be able to. But I would need to get some of Brood's revives down or something. Okay, it's 100% reflect chance, but I think the enemies are almost too far away from each other. Okay, never mind. I take that back entirely. This is definitely working. Huh. What a surprise. Alright, well, what else can this character do that's especially unique to her? I mean, there's the shock thing that reduces elemental resistance, but it's only minus 40%. It's kind of just a lot of gun damage and just nice quality of life effects alongside good melee. Using conduction and discharge in testing hasn't really felt too great. So, like, yeah, we're kind of just melee gun lady. Which, like, there's no problem with being melee gun lady, because that's kind of more stuff than what she does in vanilla, technically. But, like, yeah, it's kind of what we do. So let's just keep the melee gun lady stuff rolling. We got a power puff with a nice onyx skin on it, so it's just a really, really nice looking. I do like the skins in this mod. They do a really good job with those. Go ahead and tap him up a little bit. Watch that beautiful, beautiful reload speed, because I have no reload speed buffs. Maybe get rid of Chief Shield a little bit. Maybe phase lock. Aura? Yes, I can. Okay. And then just shoot for damage cap. But hold on, is that... Also, do I still have rec bonus? Huh. That's interesting. Yep, that's just a bunch of damage cap numbers. Okay. Well, that's cool. Let me throw on our gun class mod to just make it worse. That's gross. That's so gross. Okay, what if we were using something way, way more basic? What about just like a generic little green Jacob sniper rifle with, to be honest, good parts, but still just a nice little Jacob sniper? Okay, see, this is more reasonable. Also, yeah, it's insanely awful to try to hit him in the crit spot. Even in vanilla, I believe this to be the case. But, like, see, that's way more reasonable. And the boss will never be able to fight us, because it's just permanently stuck in phase lock. This is dumb. Okay. Seems good. Oh, right. There is also the Slayer of the Seraphs class mod for gun damage, dot res, and ammo regen for the team. That also gives plus to a lot of our nice gun skills. Wait, is this not like... Okay, no, it's a little different. That looks really close to another class mod, though. But, like, okay, yeah, that's distinctly different. And also, yeah, I'm starting to think Iridian Herald might actually work. So let me just only spec that and shoot it at the target dummy in Sanctuary and just see if it actually works that way. Okay, so basic shot. Floating around 20 mil, alright. Well, we have to get down tree, which honestly, let me just take the class mod off so that we don't skew it super duper hard. I guess we can just buff E-Tech mags to get down so that we don't actually benefit our damage at all. Put 1 point in this. Looks about the same. I guess that it's because I took this off, huh? Okay, 35 mil, 1 point. It's still 35 mil. Okay, so what if I just dump into it? Let's just bring up that gun damage. Still 35? That fire rate definitely seems to work, though. Right? Because if I spec out of it, or even just put a couple points into it. Please, there we go. Yeah, the fire rate buff definitely works if nothing else does. So, there you go. That's kind of funny. Okay. Okay, I've maxed out all of our skills again, just to see how this will go. Yep, that is just damage cap. That's all it is. It's just a lot of damage cap. Okay, that's cool. I think that's one of the more terrifying things, is the fact that I can just come out here, get a kill skill, and then still have time to just run back over to Sanctuary. And, like, the kill skill is gonna stay for a good little while here. It's not, like, going anywhere. So that looked like a lot. Okay. Okay. So, like, you know, just a casual 2 trillion damage on shot during kill skill. That's cool. Up to 3 trillion per shot on kill skill. Hitting crits, to be fair. Like, standing in the enemy's mouth hitting crits. Maybe making the everything upset a little bit. But, like, you know, that's pretty good. We're gonna go for absolute damage. Hold on, do I have anything that does higher fire damage? Or higher shock damage, I guess? The main problem I have is I want to use something that's elemental so that we get the full benefit of our elemental damage skills. It's kind of looking like Gambit or the Powerpuff are just like the move. Hello, sir. I'm so sorry. That's so dumb. It's great, but that's so dumb. Oh, he's actually abiding his mechanic for once. Okay, we'll have to just wait out the mechanic, or... Never mind, that doesn't do anything. Although that fire rate's really high. Okay, he's finally vulnerable. I can't even reel that in. Alright, let's just use something we know will actually work. Okay. Yeah, I kind of had to switch off of our controller because of the recoil a little bit, although it looks like on controller it's really not that bad. But like, yeah, this recoil is silly whenever it actually kicks in. Not compared to this, though. That is way worse for sure. What about this? Jesus. Okay, that's cool. I'm so sorry to everybody's eyeballs. That sucks. Well, there we go. That's pretty cool. Alright. Yeah, the the Maya. Really strong. Who would have guessed? You just stack a ton of damage on the character. She's really good. She doesn't have any invulnerability like some of the other characters had. You can stack health on her. It's not going to be as much as the other characters either, though. But, like, yeah, she's going to be just fine, clearly, based on what we're seeing. Like, I mean, even in the actual mod itself, she's fine. So, yep, just another fun little foray into tomfoolery before BL4 comes out. I might play another Recoded playthrough, we'll kind of just have to see. Up next will be Krieg, though, and that'll be it for today.